Now on Newsday TV, bundle up. Bone-chilling cold temperatures and the possibility of more snow on the way. We'll have details in less than 2 minutes. I'm Macy Eglund. Only a Newsday. Investigators in the Gilgo case are eyeing an emerging technology to help identify one of the victims. The man's remains were found along Ocean Parkway in 2011. He was dressed in women's clothing, leading investigators to believe he might have been a sex worker. They're looking into using microbial DNA analysis, which they say could lead to a more precise time of death. Opening statements are expected today in the trial of Thomas Bernagosi. The former Bayshore teacher is charged with sexually abusing 2 students. Prosecutors say there were allegations made by more than 36 students. And police are searching for a suspect after 2 teens were shot in a car in Brentwood. They say a second car pulled up to them last night, and that's when someone opened fire. The victims drove here to Bayshore, where police were called. They were not seriously hurt. 2 Long Island towns are planning to waive property taxes for permanently disabled veterans. Brookhaven and Huntington officials are planning that exemption. Last month, state lawmakers passed legislation allowing towns, cities, and school districts to waive property taxes for disabled vets. Well, another month of higher home prices on the island. According to One Key MLS, the median price in Nassau rose to $835,000 in December, 4.4% more than the same time last year. In Suffolk County, the median price was $700,000, an increase of 3.7%. In less than a minute, how the housing market is shaping up this year, advice from experts for both buyers and sellers. All right, let's talk about your Tuesday weather now. We are at the start of a bitter cold snap. Get ready. Today's highs are only in the low 20s, but with that wind, feels like it's in the single digits. It is cold. Tomorrow, cloudy, a little bit warmer, but still feeling very cold. Feels more like the teens. Temps are deceiving tomorrow for sure. Thursday, we are in the 40s, but by the weekend, look at that cold, 17 degrees for Saturday. Brr, a chance for more snow on Sunday and Monday. Anybody else over it? Too much snow this year. I'm done.
Long Island weather is brought to you by PTRC.
Well, the island's real estate market has been setting records for months. People are buying high and selling high, and many experts believe we're in for another very competitive year ahead. Joining me now to walk us through what buying and selling a home looks like in 2026 is Newsday real estate reporter Rachel Weiss, Caitlin McCartney, a real estate agent with Compass, and licensed mortgage professional Tyler Ravon. Thank you all for being here with us. We want to start with you, Rachel. You've been reporting on this. Why is Long Island's real estate market so hot right now?
Macy, it is hot as ever. Long Island's market has been defined by low inventory and high demand for a while now. So on one hand, you have sellers who are kind of on the sidelines waiting for interest rates to drop before they list their homes and buy something new. And on the other hand, you have buyers who are dealing with a limited inventory as a result of this and are also facing a lot of competition with these record high prices and having to make offers well above the asking price. So those are kind of the key factors driving Long Island's market right now.
There's still lines out the door at a lot of the open houses you see. Tyler, let's get to you. Where do you see the mortgage rates heading? That's a big concern for people, and how might that affect our real estate market on Long Island?
Yeah, Macy, it's a great question, and we're already seeing it already. Mortgage rates are coming down, and we're projected to continue rates to fall in 2026. So what this does increase competition in the market, and I try to prepare all the clients that I speak with on a daily that the mortgage rates do have an impact, and when you see rates come down, competition will increase. So I'm sure as an agent you see it as well, that with this going on, you definitely have to be prepared for multiple offers. You have to be prepared for a longer wait time. But it's definitely still a time to buy in 2026.
You hear so many people say that, like, oh, I'm going to wait till the rates come down and then I'll start taking this seriously. So yes, we're going to start to see that.
Yes.
Caitlin, are more sellers looking to relocate off Long Island? I mean, we're hearing that a lot as well. People say they're going to leave, it's just too expensive. And could that be good news for buyers here?
Yeah, so we are not seeing the exodus that we saw in the COVID years for sellers. More of what I'm seeing is actually sellers staying on the island and downsizing, which unfortunately does bring even more competition to first-time buyers, because now they are seeing themselves in this same buyer pool as sellers who are maybe in a position who have more cash to put down, so on and so forth. So that's the position that most sellers are in at this current time, but we are not seeing the exodus of sellers going out of the island this year.
Okay, interesting. Rachel, let's get back over to you. A lot of buyers are just kind of focused on that down payment, right? When they are interested in buying a home. Are there other costs that they should consider? Tell us about that.
Yes, the number one thing buyers should be thinking about are their closing costs. That's going to be thousands of dollars that they're paying at the closing table at the end of the home process. And when you weigh that against an already high down payment, it's a lot to consider. Next you have monthly mortgage payments. You should probably discuss what those numbers are going to look like with your real estate agent right at the beginning of the process. If you are buying a home on Long Island, or in New York State for that matter, that's over $1 million, you will be subject to mansion tax, which is 1% of the sales price of your home. So if you're buying a home that's $1 million, 1% of that is $10,000 in additional taxes that, again, you'll be paying at the closing table. And lastly, you should probably also have a home maintenance fund in your back pocket. Even if you're moving into something that is totally move-in ready, you still might want to make some changes here and there. So having that extra fund is really important.
That is good advice. People, may not know about that millionaire's tax.
Yeah.
Tyler, for buyers, what are some factors that lenders are taking into consideration, and why are they important?
Yeah, so there are four key factors that we're taking a look at. Number one, the home that you're looking to purchase, right? The second factor that we're looking at is your income. This is very important for buyers to consider, because this is what the lenders are primarily looking at, your ability to repay the loan. So they're looking at the consistency and the stability of the employment, whether that's being an hourly employee, or are you salaried, or are you self-employed. We have various different programs for them, but the lender is definitely taking a look at your ability to repay. Okay. The next thing they're taking a look at is your assets. The lender sees this as your strength of finances. So your ability to, like Rachel said, your down payment and closing costs, your ability to have that readily available. The final thing they're going to take a look at is your credit. This is your history, your ability to take care of your finances, your ability to pay debts and liabilities. The higher your score, the more favorable the financing terms are. This doesn't disqualify clients who maybe have a lower score, but it definitely puts them in a position where you want to speak with a licensed professional like myself to see what options are readily available for you.
Absolutely. All right, Caitlin, so bidding wars, we know this, often break out on homes across Long Island all the time. So should buyers and sellers expect that to continue in 2026?
Yes, absolutely.
Great.
Yes, I know,
Great.
I know. But there is good news. If you have the right team in place ahead of time as a buyer, that team includes your real estate agent, your lender, your home inspector, and your real estate attorney, and you are prepared. Every single home that you go into, you have that team behind you to back you and to win the bid. That is the goal for the buyers right now on Long Island and heading into 2026. They want to be in a position to be able to buy and to win the bid. Right. So it's important to have that team in place. But yes, we are absolutely going to see those bidding wars continue in 2026, especially if the rates continue to tick down as well, because that does increase purchasing power, and ultimately that brings more buyers back into the market and increases the competition. Yeah.
I'm sorry to cut you off.
That's okay.
I was going to say unfortunate for the sellers, but unfortunate for the buyers, great for the sellers, I guess, and just reality right now.
It is. But this is Long Island. Yeah. We are out of space. There's nowhere else to go. There's nowhere else to build. So we are dealing with the inventory that we have. And so it's very important for buyers to be prepared, work with the right people, and get that bid accepted.
It is what it is here on Long Island. So let's talk about that preparation. Rachel, is there any kind of, first of all, financial assistance for buyers out there? Let's start there.
Absolutely. There is plenty of help out there. A great place to start is the Long Island Housing Partnership. It's an excellent resource, and there are counselors there that will let you know what grants and what assistance you might qualify for. One example of that is the Town of Brookhaven Down Payment Assistance Program, which offers $50,000 to first-time buyers that could be put toward their closing costs or their down payment. There's also certain grants that, are aimed to help people who work in certain professions like healthcare. So doing that research right off the bat is really important as well.
Yeah, look into that. And being prepared, is there anything else that people can do to get ahead?
Absolutely, get pre-approved. Like Caitlin and Tyler have said, assemble your team early. These are the pros, so leave it to them. And also start compiling a list of your must-haves versus your want-to-haves in a home. Once you start looking and you find a home that starts checking off all of the boxes for your non-negotiables, that might be the home for you, and that's a great place to start.
All right, thank you so much. Great advice from our panel. Thank you all so much for being here. We appreciate it. Something a lot of us are dealing with, right? When trying to decide, do we want to sell? Do we want to buy? Should we wait for the rates to go down? So a lot of great information. My thanks again to Newsday's real estate reporter Rachel Weiss, Caitlin McCartney, and Tyler Ravon. Again, appreciate all of your time, your expertise on this. You can read more about this story on our website, newsday.com. Only a Newsday, Long Island landmark was the backdrop for the finale of the hit Netflix series, The Diplomat. Elisa DiStefano tells us how you can go behind the scenes.
Hollywood meets history on Long Island. I'm Elisa DiStefano with a behind-the-scenes look at, recognize this, where they shot The Diplomat. The Netflix thriller series filmed the final episode of season 3 here at Planting Fields Arboretum in Oyster Bay. It is so beautiful in here.
Yes, welcome to the main house, the home of the Coe family in the 1920s.
And the home away from home for Carrie Russell and Allison Janney and the cast of The Diplomat. I want to get a house tour. This is a very special room that we see a lot in the show.
Yes, so the main house was used as a stand-in for Chequers, which is the residence of the Prime Minister in the United Kingdom, and the architectural similarities between the two places are really remarkable.
So you'll see some of the art,
yes.
right?
The art and our holiday decor, which was actually not originally in the episode, they wrote it into the episode.
That's really neat. So where to next?
Next, we'll head into the dining room.
This room is magnificent.
Yes, this was used as a scene for a state dinner.
So who gathered around this table?
This was Kate and Hal and President Grace Penn and her husband. And then on the UK side, it was Prime Minister Trowbridge and his staff.
What a cool room to be in. This room was turned into a full film set.
Yes, this was used as the American delegation room where there were intimate conversations between the characters of Kate and Hal.
The 1-hour episode took 3 months to shoot inside the main house and in the camellia greenhouse. It smells so good in here. It's so peaceful.
It's beautiful.
It is. I could see why they would want to shoot here.
Right now we have about 200 camellias in bloom or going to bloom, so we're very proud of that. And that was one of the reasons why The Diplomat chose to film here. They came in and they fell in love.
It's breathtaking, really.
And it got written into the script just like that.
So it has its own part.
Definitely. It's a main character in the show.
You can follow in the footsteps of your favorite characters on the Diplomat tour, now through March.
Now, read more about the Diplomat tour on our website, newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. See more on these stories on Newsday.com and watch us streaming anytime on Local Now, YouTube, and the other streaming services you see here. I'm Macy Eglund. We've got more local news coming up.
You'll always find something exciting with Carissa Kelman on Newsday TV. From vacations and destinations to hidden places and insider spaces. Let's go with Carissa Kelman. Now available at newsday.com/Carissa.